पौष पौर्णिमा दिनांक 2 जानेवारी 2018 चरक चिकित्सा स्थान अध्याय 18 सूत्र क्रमांक 678 शंखं चक्रं ज्वलपान् ददतमृतघटं चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मस्वच्छातिरुद्यांशुकपरिविलसन् मौलिमं भोजनेत्रं कालाम्भोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गं कटितटविलसच्चारुपीताम्बराढ्यं वन्दे धन्वन्तरिं तं निखिलगतवनप्रौढदावाग्निलीलम् ब्रह्मणो हि समारब्धा मात्रेयाद्येषु पूजिताम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् आयुर्वेदरतं वन्दे माधवाख्यं महागुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं शिष्येभ्यो यः प्रदत्तवान् द्रष्टा ज्ञानी दृष्टकर्मा कृतकर्मा तथैव च अध्यापकोऽभिषक्श्रेष्ठो महान् संशोधकस्तथा गुणैरेतैः समुदितैः यत्कार्यं प्रतनोति सः समृद्ध्यर्थं हि कार्यस्य वयं नु प्रयतामहे सरस्वत्यै नमो यस्याः प्रसादात् पुण्यकर्मभिः बुद्धिदर्पणसङ्क्रान्तं जगदध्यक्षं वीक्षते आत्रेयं प्रथमं वन्दे आयुर्वेदजगद्गुरुम् आयुर्वेदामृतं सर्वं गृहीत्वा हि सुरेश्वरात् अग्निवेशादिकेभ्यो यत् प्रयच्छत् मुनिसत्तमः प्रथमं तन्त्रकर्तारम् अग्निवेशं नमाम्यहम्। अद्य मंगलवासरः अथवा बहुमवासरः पौष पौर्णिमा दिनांक 2 जानेवारी 2018 चरक चिकित्सा स्थान 18 सूत्र क्रमांक 6 ते 8 अथ प्रत्यहतो वायुर्ऊर्ध्वस्रोतः समाश्रितः उदानभावमापन्नः कंठे सक्तस्तथोरसि। तर्हि अथ प्रत्यहतत्वं कुत्र भवेत्? अपानक्षेत्रे तत् प्रायः भवति इति सर्वेषां मतम्। एवं तर्हि तत्र पुरीशवेगावरोधः वा भवतु अपानवायोः वेगावरोधः वा भवतु अथवा शुक्रस्य रजसः वा अवरोधः वा भवतु तत्र यदि वायुः प्रत्यहतः चेत् तर्हि सः ऊर्ध्वम् आगच्छति किञ्च सः उदानभावत्वम् आप्नोति। किञ्च एते प्राणापानादिवायवः भिन्नाः उतः एकः एव वायुः उपाधिभेदात् प्राणापानादिसंज्ञां लभते यदुक्तम् अन्नं भट्टेन। अस्माकं शास्त्रे तावत् पञ्चात्मा वायुः कोष्ठे प्रादुर्भवति इति उक्तं विशेषतः अष्टाङ्गसङ्ग्रहे। तर्हि वायुः पञ्चात्मकः। के तत्र भेदाः? तत्र मामावकले महोदयैः कथितमस्ति तावत् यत् उदानवायुः जलमाभूतप्रधानः समानः अग्निमाभूतप्रधानः व्यानः वायुमाभूतप्रधानः अपानः पृथ्वीमाभूतप्रधानः एवं प्राणः आकाशमाभूतप्रधानः इति तेषां मतमासीत्। किञ्च यदि भिन्नाः एते वायवः तर्हि एव वायोः वायुरूपेण आवरणं शक्यं। नो चेत् एकः यदि वायुः स्यात् तर्हि आवरणं न भवेत्। किन्तु अत्र आवरणं भवति इति विशेषतः चरकसंहितायां स्पष्टतया प्रतिपादितमस्ति। अतः एते पञ्चवायवः भिन्ना एव इति तत्र सुस्पष्टं भवति। भवतु नाम so it becomes उदानभावमापन्नः it becomes उदान कंठे सक्तः तथा उरसि it may get obstructed at कण्ठ or उरस आविश्य शिरसखानि सर्वाणि प्रतिपूरयन् it enters the hollow things or srotasas of shiras sarvani pratipurayan, and not only it does, but it fills those with that vayu. Avanjan akshipan deham hanumanye tathakshi. So there is like bhanjana, modunjane or something like that, and akshipan deham, and like throwing of the body. Hanumanye tathakshini. The Hanumanya and Akshi, these are also these Abhanjana and Akshipan, these are the things. Netre Pushtam Urap Parshve Nirbhutya Stambhayam Stata. And Nirbhutya is Vakavane or something like that, bending or something like that. So Netra Pushta Urap Parshva, these are made to bend. And then Stambhayam Stata. And then there is a stiffness created in that. शुष्को वा सकफो वापि कसनात् कासे उच्यते. Either shushka or sakafa due to kasana. This is a particular sound of a vessel. Kasanat kasa uchyate, and that is why it is called as kasa. samprapti maha adha ityadi udahana bhavam apanna iti urudagati svabhavam apanna. So he doesn't say that it has become udana, but like udana it becomes urdhvagati or something like that. Khani srotamasi nirbhujyati akshipya. So otherwise it is bending, but he is saying that akshipya also will have the same kind of meaning. Stambhayan netradini eva kasanaditi iti yathokta gatimatvat तथा उरः प्रभृति शातनाच्च कासा इति अन्वर्तसंज्ञा उच्यते. कस गति शातनयोः. So kasa dhatu is meant for gati and shasana. So the particular gati of that vayu and uttara prabhuti shatanacha kasaha. Bhinna kamsya upamadhvanihi, that is another vitpatti. And so that is also the reason for calling it as kasa. Kasanat kasa uchyate. इत्यस्य धातोरयं प्रयोगः. कसगतिशातनयोः इत्यस्य धातोः अयं प्रयोगः. प्रतिघातविशेषेण तस्य वायोः सरहंसः वेदनाशब्दवैशिष्ट्यं कासानाम् उपजायते. So सरहंसः तस्य वायोः प्रतिघातविशेषेण. Ramhas is speed, veg or something like that. Sarahasa is having that speed. Pratighata visheshena. So the kind of obstruction, the speciality of the obstruction. Vedana shabda vaishishtyam. Accordingly, the kind of pain and the kind of sound, shabda vaishishtyam, that is developed in the kasa. So it depends on how it hampers a particular thing, and with what speed does it do. Accordingly, there will be peculiar pain. Accordingly, there will be peculiar sound of the coughing. एवं सामान्योक्तस्य कासस्य हेतुभेदमाह प्रतिघात इत्यादि. प्रतिघातः इति आवरणं, स च कफादि. So pratigata is really obstruction. Something it hits on its way. It's trying to go up or something like that. And that is kafadi. Sarahasa savegasya. Vedana pida. Kasaha shabdaha kasa shabdaha saujñava. Tayor vaishishtyam vishishtatvam bhinnatvam iti yavat. So accordingly there will be Vedana Vishesha and Swara Vishesha, something like that. रूक्षशीतकषाय अल्पप्रमितानशनं स्त्रियः वेगधारणम् आयास वातकास प्रवर्तकाः. So now he explains about the causes. Ruksha Shita Kashaya Alpa Pramita Anashana. So even in fasting, he has said three varieties: Alpashana, Pramitashana, and Anashana. So eating less, eating what we can say counted or something like that. That I only want the Pramita is mostly or I will only eat one chapati or something like that. And Anashana, not eating at all or something like that. And Striyaha. So Stri Sevana Ati Vyavaya Vegadharanam Ayasa. Vegadharana Ayasa. These are Vatakasa Pravartaka. These create Vatakasa. Rutpashvaura Shirashula Surabheda Karobrusham. So it creates Shula in the Rutpashvaura Shira. Svirabhedakara. शुष्कोरः कण्ठवक्त्रस्य हृष्टरोम्नः प्रताम्यतः. स उरः कण्ठवक्त्रे शुष्क हृष्टलोम्नः स रोमहर्ष प्रताम्यतः. And becomes tanta or something, too much stressed. निर्घोष दैन्य स्तनन दौर्बल्य क्षोभ मोहकृत. So these are varieties of sounds. Nirghosha, dainya is deenatva over the face or body. Stanana is again a kind of sound. Not explained. Generally, it is associated with clouds. Daurbalya, Shobha Mohakru, and Shobha and Moha it creates. Shushka ka asaha kafam shushkam kruchran muktval patam raju. So this is Shushka kasa. Shushka kafa comes out with much difficulty and then it subsides. Snigdhamla lavanoshnescha bhukta pittai prashamya. With snigdha amla lavana ushna anna and pana bhukta and pita. It subsides. Urdhvatasya jirnenne vegavan maruto. And when the food is digested in the last part of the digestion, there is urdhvata and the vayu has tremendous speed. Ruksha ityadina vatajasya hetulakshane aha pratamyatah iti tamaseva parvishatah. Tamatanta is also used, but Tamyata is explaining that as if entering into the dark. Urdhvatasya iti urdhvagataya prakupitavatasya. So the vata is prakupita towards upward side. Kuttukoshnu vidayam laksharanam atisevanam pittakasakaram krodha santapashchagni suryajaha. Now it turns towards pittajkasa. In practice, vatajakasa is more difficult to treat. And there can be patients suffering from vatajakasa for months. And when we try to observe all dietary restrictions and sneh and swedh or basti is properly given, then only there are chances that we can conquer this kasa. And also in advanced cases, more of rasayana treatment is required. Now there are other varieties seen resembling quite with orthopedic cancer. Particularly lung fibrosis is one of the common thing. And the capacity of the lungs is reduced. There is no more elasticity. There can be more cover in this. I have treated cases of lung fibrosis with women, hence with an woman. It works much better. This becomes steroid dependent later and may come to us in that steroid dependent stage. But even then, this works. And if it is purely Vata Pradhanya, then we may go for Basti treatment more. And Sneha Swedan is most effective. So Pindasveda generally is useful. Aktam Lavana Tailena like that. What we see in Shwasa like that. And later on the capacity of the lung goes down very much and oxygen has to be given. There are certain patients seen who are dependent on oxygen totally. So either there is a converter from the oxygen from the air into concentration of oxygen and that is a cheap device. But otherwise you have to keep oxygen cylinder ready and as and when required you have to give oxygen. So patient in this stage also come and they are of course more difficult to handle, but still they can be maintained. My experience goes that they can be still maintained, which are hopeless cases in allopathy right now. And otherwise, when there are changes at dosha level, they are more easily handled. But when there are changes at physical level, anatomical level, then it is more difficult to handle. Lung fibrosis, lung cancer, pleural effusion, and other things. When there are anatomical changes, it is more difficult. When only this Vata Pitta Kapha are involved and no doshas are involved to that extent that the formation itself is improper, then we can go for Shodhana, Vamana, Basti, etc. And they work very well. So if we are able to take care of dosha, this is quite possible. In esophageal cancer, when there is liquid dysphagia, even water cannot go inside. In certain cases, when there is persistent vomiting, whatever you put in comes out, it is thrown. So you start with medication, it keeps on coming out, and after 3-4 vomitings, the cover which is obstructing may get relieved, and there the water or milk can pass through. So, though the tumor is main cause, there is still dosha avarana over the tumor. And if we are able to remove that dosha avarana, then at least passage is possible. So there are chances of survival. Otherwise, there are no chances of survival. So this is again a very basic issue that if it is at dosha level, still it is much more treatable. When it reaches dhatu level and there is deformity of the dhatus itself or deformity of the organ itself, then we have to think of this. And I'm using Samudra Fena particularly. Now, lung cancer patients are most of the cancer patients. It is very commonly used. Samudra Fena, it has I started with it from Shukra Shodhanagana actually. But Shonita Fena Prabhava Pupusaha. Pupusa is also Shonita Fena Prabhava. So this is a Fena kind of thing that should be useful. With that thought process, I started using this in lung fibrosis and other people as well. Previously, I used to use Arka Pushpa, but now for lung fibrosis or any disease associated with the lung with improper formation, Samudra Fen is a better choice to use. So this is good enough. And to treat cases of lung cancer as such, they may not reveal a picture like Vatajakasa or Vatakaphajakasa. It might be different picture. And Shwasa is more prominent. But in that scenario, Vardhaman Pipali Rasayan, even that can be used in other cases, but Vardhaman Pipali Rasayan, it's good enough to use that. कटुकोष्ण विदाह्य मूलक्षाराणाम अतिसेवनम पित्तकासकरम. Katukoshna Vidai Amulakshara. So Atisevan of all these. This is Pitta Kasakara. So these are clearly causes of Pitta. And now there is overall tendency to eat more spicy food, more Katurasatmaka. Anna. And there are varieties available outside. Krodha is another reason for Pitta Kasa. Santapaha cha Andina Suryajaha. And Santapa due to Anala, sorry, not Anala, Agni Surya, Agni and Surya. So either Atapa Sevana or working in the kitchen, people working in the kitchen, and having close association with Agni, they also may suffer from this Pitta Kasa. Pitanishthi vanakshitvam tiktiktasatvam swaramaya. Purodhumayanam trishno trishna daho moho ruchirbrahmaha. So Pita Nishtivana and Pita Akshitva, Tiktasyatva. Now this is rather strange. Tiktasyatva is symptom of Pitta Vruddhi. That is found in Jvara also, that is found in other diseases also. And actually Tiktarasa is Pitta Shamaka. So how a body creates a particular rasa which is against the prakopa of that dosha or something. So this might be reactionary. Body tries to take care of itself and produces something which will pacify that pitta. Katukasyata is there, Lavanasyata is there. These definitely indicate that this is associated with pitta, caused by pitta. But Tiktasyata is also caused by pitta, and that might be a step taken by the body towards solving or towards curing the disease or something like that. Swaramayaha Urodhumayanam Trishna Daho Moho Ruchir Brahma. So as if there are fumes or this dhuma coming out from Pura, Trishna, Daha, Moha, Aruchi, Brahma. Pratatanka asamanascha jyotim shiva chapashyat. And when he is constantly coughing, he sees nakshatra in the sky before his eyes or something like that. Tara chamaklaka. Shleshmanam pitta sausrushtam nishtivati chapaitti. And it is pitta sausrushta kapha that is thrown out with this paitika kasa. Now the sputum which comes out may be examined for this. And we have to differentiate between purulent discharge and this kapha alone or something like that. In particularly cases of tuberculosis, there can be this puya coming out. And in cases of AIDS, which ultimately die with tuberculosis, they may have this discharge along with fever and other symptoms as such. So this is difficult to treat right now. Anyway, now all infectious diseases, in which cases Arkapushpa can be used. Can be used in particularly Kapachakasa or Kapapradhan Shvasa. I started using it for Shvasa initially. Though it is Arka is Ushnavirya, but this Arkapushpa is Shitavirya. It is useful even in Raktapitta besides Kasa and Shvasa. So easily available, truly speaking. So I started using that. So this is in these cases of AIDS, etc. Now there are very few cases that come to us for AIDS as such, but I have come across a few, and generally they die. Only thing is, depending upon the condition of the patient, some survive and beyond expectation or something like that. So there was one case, and he recovered well, and after 6 months he started deteriorating. I told about this case. It's from Satara. And I was surprised. I tried my level best, but he didn't recover. He died ultimately, young chap, around 25, 26 years of age. After some years, I had been to Satara and I met his father. So we met on the road. So I just said hello to him and said, actually, he was showing very good progress. I don't know what happened, and he deteriorated so fast and died. Surprisingly, his father told me that he didn't die of AIDS. So I said, what do you say? He said, no, he died of a depression. That was his answer. And then he told that when we had come to you, the doctors had predicted he won't survive more than 2 months. And with your treatment, he improved, and there was no fever, no coughing. He gained weight. He started going to his work. Everything was fine. And after about 5 months, he had again little coughing and little fever or something like that. Now he again remembered those words of the doctor. Nothing is going to work and you are going to die. Something like that. And then he said, initially it worked, now it is not working. So I'm going to die. And eventually he died. So, but I was surprised that his own father could think like this. Otherwise people go in depression, and Ayurveda also didn't work or something like that. They would ultimately say that it worked for a while and then it didn't work. Ultimately, the result is the person died. And he was saying that your medicine was very good for AIDS, but unfortunately he got into depression and he died. So this was a big lesson for me because there was no much communication. The patient was in Satara, I was handling from Pune, and I didn't interact with him. त्या डॉक्टरने रुग्णासमोर सांगितले होते. Yes. This is very common. They tell in front of the patient. Something like that. So anyway, this is a different story. But full-blown AIDS with CD4 count much down, etc., and having all the symptoms of tuberculosis. they die. There is no doubt about it. So they may have this Sakafa Sarakta Sapuya Steven, and that is possible. कटु इत्यादिना पित्तकास हेतुलिंगे प्राह अग्निसूर्यज इति अग्निसूर्यप्रभवः संतापः इत्यर्थः उरोधूमायनमिति उरसो धूमोद्वमनमिव पित्तजे अपि अस्मिन् श्लेष्मनिष्ठीवनं व्याधेः उरप्रभृति कफस्थानभूतत्वेन श्लेष्मपित्तसंसर्गजतया इति ज्ञेयम्. So this is pittaja kasa, but still there is some kapha because it is kafasthana. Urapravritti kafasthana bhutattvena shleshpavitta samsarga jataya. So there is kapha pitta samsarga, and that leads to sakafa pita sthivana. गुरोविष्यन्ति मधुरस्निग्धस्वप्नाविचेष्टनैः वृद्धश्लेष्मानिलं रुद्ध्वा कफकासं करोति. So Guru Avishanti Madhura Snigdha Swapna Avicheshtana. So no Vyayama or something like that. Vruddha Shleshma. So kapha increased by these Anilam Vruddha. It obstructs Vayu, Kapakasan Karoti, and creates Kapakasa. So there is lot of kapha coming out in this Kapakasa. Mandagditva Ruchichardi Pinasot Gauravaihi Lomharshasya Madhurya Kleda Samsadanair Yutam. So it is Mandagnitva Aruchi Chardi Pinasa Utklesha Gaurava Loma Harsha Asya Madhurya Kleda and Samsadana. So Sadana is Sadasidati. So Sidanti Magatrani kind of thing. There is no energy, there is no possibility of any movement, that kind of condition. Bahalam Madhuram Snigdham Nishtivati Ghanam Kapam. It is Bahala Madhura Snigdha Ghana Kafa Kasamano hi Arup Vaksha Sampurna Vamanyate. There is no pain. Arup Vaksha Sampurna Vamanyate. And as if the whole chest is filled with kapha. So these are also seen, and particularly infants or children are seen with this. And when they have vomiting, Chardi is one of the symptoms over there. They get relieved. I had a strange case of cyclic vomiting syndrome. It was called as cyclic vomiting syndrome. The child, 7-8 year old, and his mother was pediatrician. She said he has cyclic vomiting syndrome. I didn't understand. So I said, what happens actually? She said he's better for 1 or 2 months. Then he starts his vomiting. He keeps on vomiting for 2-3 days. We try everything in allopathy. Doesn't work. And when vomiting stops, again he is okay for 1 or 2 months or something like that. So they called it a cyclic vomiting syndrome. And when we investigated, we found that he was consuming a lot of curds and sweets and so many things, etc. etc. It was all kapha pradhana. And he used to get relieved with chardi. He didn't have any other symptom, but Agnimandya would be there. And then I said, okay, you start observing this pathya. She was not believing. And I said, you follow and then let us see. And then this stopped. The cyclic syndrome stopped. There was no further requirement of treatment anymore. With pathya and some medicine, he got cured. So, if it is kapha pradhana like this and gets relieved with vomiting as such, then it is simple. Even in Stanandhaya, we can give vamana. There is mention about giving vamana with Dhruta and Saindhava after Akantapan. and child vomits and it gets relieved or something like that. So these are more easier to treat. There is another condition and which resembles with bronchiectasis. Vayu shleshmanam asyati. We may come to that later. So it is the Vayu which is more powerful and keeps on throwing kapha, something like that. There is prabhuta kapha that is coming out. Kapha prasekantam vidvant nigdoshnayir avshedherje. Instead of going for kapha shamana, we have to go for vata shamana in that particular case. So I have come across few cases of bronchiectasis like this, and Mahanarayan tell works better than anything else in those conditions. Otherwise, you can go for Rasisintur, you can go for Tripattu, you can go for Kafaketuras, etc. और चित्रकारिता के लिए है. For this Kafachakasa, चित्रकारिता के लिए है is very good. One has to stop dinner and switch over to only Mudga Yusha, or better option is Kudatta Yusha or Chanaka Yusha. When it is confirmed that it's only Kapha, then Chanaka Yusha also works better in these conditions. And only one time meal, no day sleep, no normal water, only hot and boiled and hot water. And with all these precautions, this subsides very fast. There is no doubt. So this is Kafacha Kasa. अतिव्यवाय भाराध्व युद्धाश्वगज विग्रही युद्धाश्वगज विग्रही वृक्षस्य वृक्षतं वायुर्गृहीत्वा कासमावहे स पूर्वं कासते शुष्कं ततश्चीवेत्स शोणितं कण्ठेन रुचितात्यर्थं विरुगणेनैव चोरसा. So अतिव्यवाय, then bhara vahana, advagamana, yuddha, ashwagaja vigraha. So with this fight with Ashwa or Gaja, I don't know Ashwa fight. There is a fight with elephants. Ashwa I have not heard actually. Anyway, Rukshasya Vrkshatam Vayu Grihitva Kasamachare. And a Ruksha person, Urakshata, is created by Vayu and then it generates Kasa. Now the Bhara Vahana or something like that. This is now it is becoming less and less. Initially, these people used to lift 100 kgs of weight easily. Now it came down to 50, and now it has come down to 25 kgs. So the bags are becoming smaller now, and the capacity has gone down to lift that much weight as such. And it has to be borne on the back. That's the safest way to do. But Shirasabharana is also seen. That is, if it is too heavy, then it is not very good. But this Bharadva and Adva, Shankramana, and particularly in Jainas, Jain sadhus, when they take Diksha, is very common. And they walk 20-25 kilometers a day. And this can be continuous, and then they further have to give pravachana. So that can be very hectic. Hitaruchi Vijay Maharaj Sahib is one of this victim of this. He did IMB for 145 days, so only one meal, and that is also ruksha. Then used to do vihara of 20-22 kilometers a day, and used to give pravachana after that. And that is how he fell ill and got his weight got reduced to 30-32 kg or something like that. So these can be peculiar positive factors that are seen. And even Yuddha and other things are. Ativyava is also one of the important factors over here. Shine retase anantara kshiyante ratava sarve tata shushati manava. This is one of the samprapti of the Rajayakshma as such. Sarvpurvam kasate shushkam tata shtivesya shonit. So there is initially shushka kasa and then sashonita shtivana is there. Kanthena ritatyartham virugne neva chorasa. So there is Kantharusha and Virudrakanattva of the Uras. So pain or discomfort. Suchibhirev Tikshnavistudyamaneena Shulina Dukasparshena Shurena Bheda Pida Vitapina. So like Tikshna Suchi needles. Tudyamaneena Shulina. So there is pain, pricking pain. Dukasparshena Shurena Bheda Pida Vitapina. So Dukkasparsha Shula Bheda Pida Avitapa. पर्वभेद ज्वर श्वास तृष्णा वैश्वर्य पीडितः पारावत इवाकूजन कास्यवेगात् क्षतोद्भव. So there are varieties of symptoms. Parvaveda is something different. Jvara, Shvasa, Trishna, Vaisvarya. Paravata Ivakujan. Now this is very well observed. Even that can be heard from a distance. Kasavegat Kshatodbhava. This is Kasavega, Kshatodbhava, Kasavega. One of the important cases of Kollatkar sir, a patient came to him when he was about to leave Dombivli. And he was saying that he has Urakshata, Kasa Urakshata. And before that was Shukrakshayati Vyavayati kind of thing. So Kollatkar sir just gave him Shatavari powder churna. I don't know how did he carry it. Because he used to carry Parshva, Varangaka, etc. It was there, something like that. And he had lost weight loss of 22 kgs within the span of 20 days. So after 15 days he came back. Sir asked him to come earlier so he will have more history. And then it was known that it was initially Urakshata. And in Urakshata Karmad Viryam Balam Pakti Balam Ojaschahiyate. Ruchik Pakti Balam Ojaschahiyate. Something like that. So, and it was something associated with Ati Vyayama or something like that. So then he changed and with Shatavari there was no further weight loss. He gained 2 kg weight in 15 days, but there was no further weight loss. Next time Kollatkar sir used Laksha in one Gunza form. Ask him to take it with milk morning and evening. Surprisingly, within next 15 days, there was weight gain of 20 kg. So he recovered everything, whatever was weight loss, he recovered within 15 days. And of course, the Kapha Shtivan, the Sarakta Shtivan, everything stopped. So this is great daring by Kollatkar sir as such, but he was of that nature. And what Swarnamalini Vasanta or Siddhapala Churana etc. may not do, that was done by this Laksha alone, which is the best medicine for Urakshata, etc. So once he confirmed that it is Urakshata and Karmat Vidyam Richik Bhakti Balam Ojashri sequence is there, Vidya was the next one or something like that. So he just used only Laksha and the weight loss was recovered within 15 days. So this is one of the remarkable cases of Sir. अतिव्यवाय इत्यादिना क्षतजमाः पुरक्षतं गृहीत्वा क्षतम् उरः प्रक्षिप्य प्राप्य इत्यर्थः. अयं च कासः सहसश यक्ष्मरूपे अपि उक्तोऽन्यः. So in Sahasasha Yakshma, this is also said. So what Vagbhata has done, Vagbhata has clubbed all these together. Sahasam Vega Samrodha Sneho Jakshuku Samshayah Annapana Vidityaga Chatvarasya Sehetava. So Shonita Sthivana Shushka Kasa Jvara are symptoms of tuberculosis seen in Kshatraja. Yes, in conventional medicine, it may be diagnosed as tuberculosis or may not be diagnosed. Now, many a times, TB is not detected. AB is negative. So, acifibras bacilli are not seen. The X-ray might not be conclusive. And there might be long-standing fever with CASA. Maybe little weight loss or something like that. And when TB is not confirmed, but the patient doesn't respond to any other treatment, then empirically AKT is begun. And that works many times. And the symptoms are gone. Surprisingly, there may not be any kind of these symptoms, and X-ray shows that it is tuberculosis. Even the sputum is not positive. Then also AKT is given. That is another issue. And we do not get these cases at that point. If there are toxic effects of AKT, maybe the HBT start increasing or alkaline phosphatase starts increasing. Then they have to put restrictions on the drugs. Some of the drugs may be withdrawn. And at that venture, patients come to us. So I treated a few cases like this, and they responded well. And again, AKT was begun. So it was adjuvant therapy. It was not the main therapy, etc. But otherwise, it is very difficult to treat tuberculosis now or any infectious disease as such now. And this is a long-standing effect of the use of antibiotics in improper way. So the germs are getting inoculations of antibiotics and they are becoming more and more resistant. And WHO has already warned that by 2020 in India, there will be more epidemics and people will die with epidemics due to this infectious diseases or something like that. Still no lesson has been learned. Only good doctors are saying about that, shouting about this, that you give antibiotics only if it's a dire need that you to save the life or something like that. Otherwise, try to emphasize on simple measures, drinking hot water, taking rest, etc. etc. So what Ayurveda was saying, Danganam Swedanam Kalo Yavag Vastikta Porasaha, was actually the treatment for the root cause. And that should have been implemented. The whole view about infectious diseases drastically changed with introduction of antibiotics. And though it was known that if person has good immunity, then infection doesn't work. no emphasis has been laid on building up immunity, and that's the root cause for all this. But now it's going to be a very difficult situation for Ayurveda as well. When there will be epidemics like this, now we have already experienced this swine flu and dengue and chikungunya and so many epidemics now. And people have started dying in it, dying with that infection. Though the number is less, but still there are casualties about this. And in old days, it was the plague, it was the cholera, it was typhoid, etc., etc. Those were the diseases which were causing epidemics, and people used to die in large numbers. So we may expect the same thing to happen in 4 or 5 years from now. The diseases might be different, but still there is return of cholera. And Dhananjay Kulkarni, when was admitted in Dinanath, when he suffered from diarrhea, and it was proven that he suffered from cholera. So this was a shocking news for everybody. Otherwise, people would have thought that it is some gastrointestinal infection and maybe antibiotic is needed. But the floating test or something like that was performed, and it proved that he had cholera. So this is a dangerous sign. Return of cholera is a dangerous sign. So like that, even these cases of tuberculosis, it was initially only two drug therapies. Streptomycin was the main drug or something like that. Then three drugs, four drugs, five drugs, six drugs. It has kept on adding drugs, and one of that is chemotherapy drug now. And though initially it showed good results, now with AIDS, people again there is spread of tuberculosis through these HIV patients. And if it is this lung tuberculosis, still it has a better prognosis. What to speak about meningitis, tubercular meningitis, spot swine, and other people. I had one case of pot swine. He was already operated, and they had put iliac crest into that, some part of this bone. And he was a guard on a goods train. And he joined, he had fever that subsided with AKT. He joined his duties, and pain erupted. Again went to doctor. He said, "Can't do anything now. We have been given proper AKT treatment." So he changed the job. For him, this was a big loss because he could work as a clerk, but then the dearness allowance, which is the main income source for guards, is gone. So he came to me. I said we'll start with treatment, and we stopped AKT. He was still on AKT. We gradually reduced and stopped it. And then the fever erupted. Again, he had grade 103, 104 degrees of fever for continuous 1 week. So I was also puzzling what to do with this case. I started using Hirak and he responded. And then fever subsided, the pain subsided, we started with Basti, Kati Basti. He could rejoin his duties on good strength. But this was a good lesson again for me. So how to handle these cases? I just had heard that Bhagavadikar was using Hirak Basma in tuberculosis patients. So I decided to use that. Now I get very less patients of tuberculosis as such. Then recently there have been no patients even from AIDS suffering from tuberculosis. But this Iraq worked well for him, and he was relieved. That is another story. I had another case. There was long-standing fever, and he was not responding. They were giving varieties of antibiotics. He was not responding. He was a friend of my father and used to come to me at certain occasions. So I visited, and then I said, I think it is tubercular meningitis. It's not something like typhoid or something like that. But he was in Ruby Hall, and the doctors were emphasizing on typhoid, giving treatment for typhoid. So I said, this is my opinion. You look for. And after 2-3 days, the diagnosis was confirmed that it was tubercular meningitis. And then his son came to me and he said, what you said was correct. Now you treat him. I said, no, he is beyond treatment because there was already toxicity in the liver, and there was jaundice, and his age was also advanced. So I said, it is incurable. Now it is not possible to treat him. He said TB is curable. I said, yes, okay, but it's not only the TB that we are treating the person as such. And the person is not in a stage to recover. So it is not possible. Still, I gave medicine and he died. He didn't survive. After 4-5 days, he died. So these are complicated cases. And how to deal with these? This is again plain Hirak or Sukshma Hirak, and in what matra? It was Sukshma Hirak, of course. And then whatever matra I use. But I didn't do it 6 at that time. I used to do it 100 times only, that much. But it worked. Anyway. So these cases are quite difficult to use. To handle, and anyway, we have to work hard. So infectious diseases are becoming more troublesome now because they will produce immediate death. Cancer is producing death even later, but infectious diseases, if they are uncontrolled, they will produce immediate death. And so this is much more complicated, much more important now. And if the infection is found to be there, may it be typhoid, may it be malaria, may it be tuberculosis or swine flu or something like that. If an infection is found, there is focused approach by conventional medicine, and now there are cases which are resistant in this particular scenario. So allopathy is just handicapped, can't do anything. And the immunity has so gone down so much that even for us this is a very difficult situation to handle. Anyway, we may talk about this tomorrow. I have talked about this long back, but maybe we continue with it. आयुर्वेद प्रकाण्ड निगदितैः हि शल्यतन्त्रप्रधानः शिष्येभ्यः शाश्वतोऽयं निखिलजनकृपा व्याप्तचित्तेन येन आयुर्वेदस्य वाञ्छन् पुनरपि भुवने काञ्च सुष्ठु प्रतिष्ठां श्रेष्ठं धन्वन्तरिं तं प्रणमति च सदा वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् वैद्यवर्गो हि नूनम् विरम्यते व्याख्यानव्यापारः श्वः पुनरपि मिलिष्यामः।